music.
What's up? Back with another episode of the Major Music Lounge podcast. And this has been a while since I've actually done an episode, but just coming back with doing some of these trending topics, whether it's in the music producer community or the hip-hop community, generally speaking. And today's topic, we're actually going to talk about the removal of Westside Gunn from a WWE event. And this story actually comes from us by way of Sports Illustrated and The Takedown, but a lot of other media outlets have been discussing this for the last week or so. So Westside Gunn, for those of you that don't know, he's been a very big WWE supporter for a very long time. And, I could go back because, same thing as, I think we even like the same age or whatever, but, I've been a fan for, pretty much since the 80s, and I still tune in from time to time. But I can tell you that the WWE product, you see, they were purchased, maybe 2-3 years ago by a company called TKO Holdings, which TKO Holdings has UFC and the WWE under one umbrella. And this is very different, for those of you maybe that don't watch the WWE anymore. This is very different than when Vince McMahon was running the show. They're going up on a lot of the shows, the events. On top of that, there's just like advertisements everywhere. You tune into an event, you see the Slim Jim logo on tables. You got the prime drink from Logan Paul. You always got to stand right next to the ring, et cetera, et cetera. But I only say that to say that a lot of things that maybe didn't happen under Vince McMahon are happening now. And I'm not excusing Vince McMahon. I just want to put that out there because for those of you also that don't know, Vince McMahon has been under investigation for quite some time for a SA issue that happened a few years ago in the WWE, actually I think around 2019, but there was a couple of different incidents of former employees coming out to report on some of the things that Vince McMahon has done, or let me just say allegedly in this video, because it's still under investigation. But yeah, TKO, they are definitely doing some different things now than they've done in the past. Now, this comes straight, actually I've seen this on Westside Gunn, both his X account as well as his Instagram account. But he took to social media to say, for years, nobody with 2 feet has spent the amount of money I have supporting and pushing a brand that I've loved since I could remember. I sat in front row at every big show, literally. When I started making music, I incorporated in everything like Wu-Tang did karate. I made people who hated the product watch it again. I made it look cool when at the time people thought it was nerdy. So that comes from Westside Gunn. Like Westside Gunn, kind of like I said earlier in this video, I've been a fan for a very long time. There was a period of time, however, when I stopped watching and then I started watching again. But it was when I started watching again, which was around 2012 or so. And I started noticing, at these different events, just seeing Westside Gunn sitting in the front row. And then, here comes 2019, the beginning of AEW, All Elite Wrestling, which Westside Gunn also would attend a lot of their events. And in fact, I was at AEW All In Texas last July, and he came out, and this wasn't the first time he did it, but he came out with the Hurt Syndicate, which is MVP, Bobby Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin. But he actually also did their song You know, we heard people. We heard people. He was the one rapping on there, I believe, with MVP. And then on top of that, he also did the Big Pressure remix with Swerve Strickland and Bun B, you know, out of H-Town. But he did the remix with them and Flash Garment. So I only say that again to say that, you know, Westside Gunn has been a part of the culture for a very, very long time, and this man deserves his flowers. In fact, he started his own wrestling company, which is called The Fourth Rope. And Westside, if you're listening to this, man, y'all need to come on to Dallas, man. I'll attend the show, but y'all come on to Dallas. We'd love to see y'all out here. I see what you're doing other places. But Dallas is a very good market for professional wrestling as well. So we would love to see y'all out here in the Dallas market, because, you know, AEW, they come out here and do shows, as I mentioned earlier. But yeah, Westside Gunn has been a big advocate for blending the hip hop and professional wrestling culture over the years. And it's pretty messed up what the WWE did to him. Now, you know, for those of you that also may not know, like, if you go back to quite a few, I think it's probably his last maybe 3 or 4 EPs, which has the Heels Have Eyes. That's the series. But there's been album covers, like I remember there was one with Ted DiBiase getting that $1 million belt out of a briefcase, and there was another one which showed Virgil entering the ring holding that $1 million belt. And then they had the last one before it got canceled and WWE put Westside Gunn out of that show. But they had this last, I think, Heels Have Eyes 3, but it had both Ted DiBiase and Virgil on the cover. And then they had this big, like, display up in Times Square, in which they had the same cover, but, you know, a larger display to promote the album. It was said also that the WWE sent Westside Gunn a cease and desist letter to stop using that content to, you know, put on his album covers, and like the one he had in Times Square. Now, me personally, I take it as Westside Gunn paying homage, because you could even hear it in his raps to professional wrestling, that era of the 80s, maybe the 90s as well. But I would probably bet that they looked at this situation and said, hey, we aren't making anything off of these album covers, this music, so that's why they sent him a cease and desist letter. Now, I could also tell you from being an artist myself and being involved in music that, you know, Westside Gunn is not the first person that has used, you know, old wrestling photos for his album covers, and he won't be the last. But I just find it kind of odd that they're targeting him, you know, again, after spending all of this money, being a big advocate for just professional wrestling in general. And on top of that, he has his own wrestling company too, like I mentioned earlier. So Westside Gunn has a whole lot going for him. Now, I know this is probably going to work out in his favor when it comes to the relationship he has with All Elite Wrestling as well as TNA Wrestling. You know, something else may come out of this that's even better than before. But this is bullshit by the WWE. I'm gonna just call it what it is. That's some straight up bullshit. And you know, whoever he spoke to, because they have something in here coming from the same post that I was talking about earlier. There was even more. So I just went even viral for spending $50K on sweets. On my soul, I've only been respectful. I've tried having conversations with one individual because he's causing all of these unnecessary cases. And to be honest, he hates seeing a young black successful entrepreneur that could afford those seats. Monday Night Raw starts at 8 p.m. I was kicked out by 8:03 after spending $5K for a seat plus travel, hotel, etc. in my own city for absolutely nothing. So yeah, once again, this is just some straight up bullshit. I don't know who he spoke to. I really don't know who he spoke to. I wish I did know. But, kind of like I said earlier, upper management has changed within the WWE and TKO, and things that they might have been cool with once upon a time, they just don't seem cool with anymore. They are losing a lot of fans that were longtime viewers of the WWE, some that even, have kids that, after they watch for decades upon a time, now they have kids that are watching the shows as well. But a lot of people are starting to back away from the product, whether they're switching companies or just, not watching professional wrestling altogether. And a lot of things that's going on is self-inflicted by the WWE. So, they need to get it together. And, Westside Gunn, salute to you, man, for, representing and pushing the culture and, starting in the fourth rope and all the great things that you do for the hip-hop and professional wrestling culture. I'd be looking from afar and, again, a big admirer of all the things that you do. And kind of like I said before, I wish y'all would come out to Dallas, or if y'all do something nearby in the immediate future, I might pull up to it because I really like what y'all doing. And peace and blessings to you, brother. This all will come to pass, and I know fourth rope is going to continue to excel, as well as seeing Westside Gunn at AEW shows. In fact, he was at the AEW show last week. I saw him on TV at the Blood and Guts show, and I know Tony Khan would never do anything like that to him, as well as I think it's Carlos Silver with TNA. But again, TNA right now is being heavily influenced by the WWE. So I don't know how long that's gonna go on. I mean, in fact, they defended the fourth rope titles on TNA television at one time. So that was really huge, considering that he started this company with his own money. So that's all I got. I just wanted to come on and give some thoughts about this current issue with Westside Gunn and the WWE. Now, I'm going to continue bringing videos like this about trending topics in the music industry, music production world, whatever that looks like. These are going to kind of be like mini episodes of the Major Music Lounge podcast. So you can tune in, check us out here on YouTube, as well as all podcast streaming platforms. You can follow me on Instagram at t._majormusic. Same thing on TikTok or Threads. And what's your thoughts on this whole Westside Gunn WWE situation? Do you agree with him? Do you side with them? Are you even still, a fan now that TKO Holdings has been running the company for the last couple of years, opposed to Vince McMahon? Let me know your thoughts. And until next time, it's D. And I
keep it moving like wheels of the spokes, wheels of the spokes, wheels of the spokes. Exhale the stress, then blow out the smoke, blow out the smoke, blow out the smoke.
Steady rolling the best, yeah, I'm never worried about stressing, cause I'm blowing over dope. Yeah, I'm fresh off a flight, I brought some KK for my neighbor dirty Sprite. No, I ain't pull up, this some killer. Before you hit my blunt, just know we smoke, you don't pull the weed too hard, it's feeling like you hit a bomb. I done lit my third blunt and we ain't finished. I done just leave good, nah, nigga in the zone.